Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Anne and today I'm going to be bringing you my anticipated releases for April, May and June. So I have a nice little list here in my notebook that I'm going to be talking through some of my most anticipated reads for this month. Did I bring my phone? Let's just get straight into the books that I'm eagerly anticipating that are releasing in the next 3 months. So the first book that I want to talk about is releasing on April 4th, and it is A Flame Forged in Mist by Samara Soward, and I'm very excited about this one. So this is a fantasy romance, I think, but I have the arc of this and I'm very excited to read it. But we have, the synopsis says, I'll avenge my little brother no matter the cost. For 10 years, Ever Tillman has yearned for revenge. When the Mystics announce a rare tournament that will grant 10 mortals the gift of magic, she seizes the opportunity to grow stronger. The trials bring her goal within sight, and she'll stop at nothing to reach it. But parity is full of dark secrets, and the prize of magic comes with far greater cost than ever imagined. The victors of the tournament will become part of an elite group called the 10, tasked with defending the North by traveling deep into enemy territory. That sounds really interesting. I love a good tournament and I'm very intrigued about this one. The synopsis does go into a little bit more, but I think we're just going to leave it there and kind of leave it as a little bit of a surprise for me when I go in, because I do like not knowing 100% what's happening within the book. The next book that I want to talk about is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. So I recently read Phantasma by Kaylee Smith and I absolutely loved it, and I'm so obsessed with this. I need to read the physical so I can annotate it, but I loved it so much. So this is book 2 in the Wicked Game series, but this is a series where we're following the 2 sisters. Book 1 is about Ophelia, book 2 is about Genevieve, so we're following Genevieve's story. So we've got, ready or not, the game has begun. Genevieve Grimm has felt adrift ever since her sister became the head of the family. So when a mysterious friend of their mother's invites her to Italy, she accepts. She arrives at his grand palace, expecting passion and magic, decadence and luxury, perhaps even a midnight ball. She doesn't expect the owner's ruthlessly handsome son to slam the door in her face. Rowan Silver is tall, dark and exceptionally rude. And invitation or not, he demands Genevieve leave and never come back. But Genevieve follows nobody's orders, especially those of arrogant rich boys. She slips inside and immediately discovers her mistake. Rowan and his family are caught in an assiduous game of hide and seek where only one can win. The rest will be trapped in hell until the competition begins again. That sounds so freaking good. I loved Genevieve in book 1. Her humor, her banter, she was so not afraid to speak her mind, and she cracked me up the whole way through this book, so I loved it. And cracked me up the whole way through Phantasma, so I'm so excited to read this one. I do also have an arc from NetGalley for this one. The next 2 are released on the same day. So we have the 22nd of April and we have By the Moon by Holly Bowen. Holly Bowen is a Bowen. It's an NZ author, and I recently just grabbed the arc of this book. So this is a YA fantasy story from what I know, and it is closed door or little to no spice. So we have, what choice do I have? My people dead, my home gone, of course I will travel for Ceylon. A new mage in training, 6-year-old Fela's life shatters irreversibly when she is urged to journey to Angard, the realm's capital. She must travel to request aid against the forest beasts that threaten to destroy her village. Torn between helping her people and ensuring her own survival, Fela trains her fledgling powers before forging west. Alone she enters the Hold, a mountain fortress where instead of impaling her, warrior Guthnick agrees to guide her across the snowy peaks. Yet bigger challenges lie in wait. Hawks' talons sharp as knives circle the path to Angard, and they must pass the fiery pit of the honourless, the realm's prison. Even if she does reach the capital, and the fortress city does not simply open its gates to any mere villager. Can Fela survive the path of Angard before the beasts destroy the only home she has ever known? Sounds interesting. I'm very intrigued to read it, and I'm very excited that another NZ author is publishing their debut novel. And the next one, probably you've all heard of, is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry. I read Happy Place last year. Absolutely loved it. I do have a funny story on my shelves as well that I need to get to very, very soon. But Emily Henry, I have a feeling, is going to become a favourite author of mine. So this is two writers compete for the chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple of plot twists up her sleeve in this dazzling and sweeping new novel. Alice Scott is an eternal optimist still dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize winning human thundercloud, and they're both on balmy little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one has ever seen in years, or at least to meet with the octogenarian who claims to be the Margaret Eves, tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter of one of the most storied and scandalous families of the 20th century. When Margaret invites them both from the 1-month trial period, after which she'll choose the person who'll tell her story, there are three things keeping Alice's head in the game. 1. Alice genuinely likes people, which means people usually like Alice, and she has a whole month to win the legendary woman over. 2. She's ready for this job and the chance to impress her perennially unoppressed family with a serious publication. 3. Hayden Anderson, who should have no reason to be concerned about losing this book, is glowering at her in a shaken-to-the-core way that suggests he sees her as competition. But the problem is, Margaret is only giving each of them pieces of her story, pieces they can't swap to put together because of an ironclad NDA and an inconvenient yearning pulsing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's becoming abundantly clear that their story, just like the tale Margaret's spinning, could be a mystery, tragedy, or a love ballad, depending on who's telling it. I love Emily Henry because she not just writes romance, she writes really serious topics within those romances and explores really important themes, which I really, really love. So those are the 4 books that I'm really, really excited about coming in April. Then we're moving on to May. We have 2 on the 6th of May. The first one is Overgrowth by Mira Grant. I love Shauna Maguire. I've read a bunch of her books and I still haven't read a Mira Grant yet, but I have a couple of them on my... I read Parasite by Mira Grant and I really love her sci-fi horror. I still need to continue with that series, but I really, really enjoy her writing, so I'm very intrigued by this one, and the cover is very intriguing. So Annihilation meets Day of the Trephids in this full-on body horror alien invasion apocalypse. This is just a story. It can't hurt you anymore. Since she was 3 years old, Anastasia Miller has been telling anyone who would listen that she's an alien disguised as a human being, and that the armada that left her on Earth is coming for her. Since she was 3 years old, no one has been willing to listen. Now, with an alien signal from the stars being broadcast around the world, humanity is finally starting to realize that it's already been warned and it may be too late. The invasion is coming. Stasia's biological family is on the way to bring her home, and very few family reunions are willing to cross the gulf of space for just one misplaced child. What happens when you know what's coming but just refuse to listen? Doesn't that sound really good? I'm very, very excited about that one. The next one is Sea of Evil and Desire. This is another NZ author, which is with their debut being released. So that's very, very exciting. And this is a mermaid story. A love bound by fate, a kingdom on the brink of extinction. Beneath the waves, an ancient feud between the mare and the drowned have simmered for centuries, sparked by a forbidden love and a tragic curse. Morgana Scott isn't like anyone else. She senses people's feelings. The unexpected death of her grandmother sends her to the Ruidans Port, a windswept seaside town on Scotland's Isle of Islay. Steeped in superstition and shadowed by eerie tales of Mer, Selkie's gods and ghosts, the town holds a history as restless as the sea itself. Here she meets Finn, magnetic, dark, and utterly unreadable. His mystery pulled her in, but the very thing that intrigues her might be why she should keep her distance. As the festival of Samhain approaches, the ocean whispers tales of the dead and an ancient prophecy stirs, one that could unravel everything Morgana thought she knew about herself and the world beneath the waves. Sounds really interesting, and I'm very, very excited. I've loved seeing what the author has been posting on Instagram, so I'm very intrigued with what's going on here. The next one is This Vicious Dreams by Stacia Stark. I haven't read the synopsis of this because it is a new story following a character from the Kingdom of Lies series, which I haven't finished. So I'm definitely wanting to be finishing off that series before I read the synopsis for the next one, but I'm very, very excited. This is coming March 13th. Stacia Stark is becoming one of my favorite authors, and I'm so excited for this release, especially because it comes out on May 13th, which is the day after my birthday. And I'm very, very excited to see how the character from the series kind of grows and moves into the next series. So I'm very, very excited. Now, it is said that you can read this book before you read the Kingdom of Lies series, but I'm already in the middle of the Kingdom of Lies series, so I want to finish off that series before I start the next book, which is exciting. And the next one is Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. L.J. Andrews is again becoming one of my favorite authors. I read the Everseas duology series by I've recently read the Everseas series by her, so the Ever King, the Ever Queen, and the Mist Thief, and I loved all three of those books. I'm very excited for that series to continue. I have the books on my shelf just over here, all three of them. I love them so, so much, and I'm absolutely obsessed, and I gave them all 5 stars. But this is a brand new series from her, which is Stonegate series. This is completely different from her Everseas series, but I'm very excited. So, together they'll restore a divided kingdom or burn it down. Lyra Bean intended to live a quiet life to avoid the attention of the magic-obsessed king in the fortress of Stonegate, until Rorik Ashwood, the prince's silent guard and rumoured killer for the crown, invades her village and uncovers the truth behind the silver scars in her eyes. To save her best friend from death, she's forced to reveal her abilities and is immediately claimed by the crown as the next Melder. To be the king's Melder is to be revered and feared in equal measures, but above all it is a slow death sentence. Lyra is determined to find a way to free herself and her friends from bondage. But first, she must get more information from the silent, broody sentry who first took her captive, Rorik. As Lyra gets closer to Rorik, she soon learns he's nothing like she assumed, and in fact, everything she needs. The more they work as allies, the harder it becomes to ignore the growing passion between them. After a sinister truth is revealed, Rorik and Lyra must choose to stand against all they know and accept their dark destiny. Again, sounds absolutely amazing, and I'm very, very excited. And then we've got 2 releases in June that I'm very, very excited about. These are the only 2 that have kind of piqued my interest. I'm not really a big person who is up to date with a lot of anticipated releases that are coming up, but a lot of these are authors that I've read from before, or they are books by indie authors that I'm very, very intrigued about. But this one is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is the author of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I absolutely love that book, and I'm so obsessed with it, and this was kind of giving me the same sort of vibes with this. So we've got Santo Domingo della Calzada, 1532, London 1837, and Boston 2019. 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, and one grows deep, and one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. Very ominous, very vague, but I'm very, very excited. V. Schwab's writing is absolutely stunning and beautiful, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue made me cry multiple times, so I'm very, very excited for this one. And the last one is Caught Up by Navisa Allen. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Anne and I'm obsessed with Lights Out. I have read it 3 times in the space of the last 6 months. I am obsessed with this book. I own 2 copies. I have the paperback, and I also have the a special edition paperback as well. But this is book 2 in the Into Darkness series, and we're following Nico, Ali's cousin from book 1. So I wanted this woman, and I was a man who always got what he wanted. Nico Jr. Troci knows Lauren Marchetti is off limits. She is sweetness and laughter, whereas Junior exists in a world of violence and depravity. Men like him don't get to have a woman like her. It's why he pushed her away back in high school and has kept his distance ever since. But when Junior looks Lauren up online, he discovers the shy, bookish girl he remembers is gone. In her place is a strikingly beautiful woman whose social media is filled with scantily clad pictures of herself and a connection to a nearby play club. Junior's innocent curiosity quickly turns into a dark obsession. But watching Lauren from a distance isn't enough. He needs to make her his. I'm so excited. It's another kind of a stalker kind of romance with a lot of obsession. And what I know, Nico rides a motorcycle. So we're getting our motorcycle smut, which I'm very, very excited about. So those are some of the books that are coming out in the next 3 months that I'm really, really excited about. Hopefully I'll get to read some of them. Probably not all of them because I've got so many other things happening and so many books on these shelves that need to be read. But if you're excited for any of these books, please let me know down in the comments. Like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Bye.